How's it going, everyone? This is Mike. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here to do a video response to a friend of mine, Blu-Ray Frank, who posted a video a couple of days ago about the decision by HBO streaming services to eliminate Gone with the Wind from their list of selections, with the promise that they might bring it back at some point with an introduction that would stimulate critical thinking and discussion and conversation. Okay, so Frank also said that when this when this announcement came about, all of a sudden the or maybe this was happening before, I'm not sure. The sales of physical copies of Gone with the Wind have just been going through the roof. They're disappearing off the shelves all over the country, and the film is being sold on eBay for astronomical prices. So my first reaction when he said this was that let's hear it for physical media. This is what all of us collectors have been telling all the streaming freaks for years, that if you think that everything that you love is always going to be up there in the sacred cloud, well, think again, because your films, your books that you want to read, that you don't have an actual copy of a book in your house, the music you want to listen to, all of it could disappear at any time. Some arbitrary decision from some committee or somebody who has a different uh, perspective on life and politics and literature or anything else than you do, it could just disappear. So I would say let's hear it for physical media. That's a good thing. Now Frank mentioned me in his video. He said he would like to know my perspective because he gave me a very nice compliment. He says that I know a lot about old films from the 30s and the 1940s. So thank you for that compliment. I appreciate it. I don't know if I can actually say anything all that original here. The idea of eliminating certain things from the culture, this is nothing new. This has come up before, and it seems like it's always the same list of books: Huckleberry Finn, Tom Sawyer, To Kill a Mockingbird, and certainly Gone with the Wind. I mean, a lot of people think that, oh, this is just terrible because of the way it depicts the slaves. Well, now, first of all, this is my copy of Gone with the Wind. There's no astronomical price here. I picked this up used for $3.33. So no extra features except for the commentary by Rudy Belmer. But it's a beautiful print. I'm very happy to have it. This is not one of my favorite films. Not even my list of top 100 favorite films. I certainly think it has a lot of good things in it. It's beautiful to look at. The first half of the film is very exciting and very moving, and I think the second half comes to a dead stop, and it's not nearly as exciting as the first half. I think that Scarlett O'Hara is one of the most irritating heroines ever depicted on screen. I mean, just really just like to take her and just slap her across the face about 50 times. Even though it has good performances by everybody in it, Gable, Vivian Leigh, everybody is very good. Vivian Leigh is a gorgeous, gorgeous woman. So there are a lot of good things in the film. I certainly would not just eliminate this from the culture. I don't believe for one second that the depiction of the slaves in this film, the treatment of the African Americans, and the actors who played them, it's wrong. I don't know. Sometimes when I see these things in these old movies, even though I'm enjoying the film and I like the actors who play these characters and I like to see them, it's cringeworthy quite often, to see the way they're treated. But I don't think that it's going to help this country and the people who live in this country if we just pretend, okay, wipe it out. It never happened. We have to forget that this ever happened. I don't think that's a good idea, and I'm not in favor of it. Now, Frank also said that 3 other films have been selling like crazy, I guess because people think they're going to disappear because of their depiction of black characters. One film was Blazing Saddles, which I think it's a very funny movie, and I have a copy of it. I'm very glad to have it. But it says the N word several times, and it's done for comedy. But I do think the movie is very funny. It wouldn't bother me if they would eliminate that word from from everybody's speech, but it's also a part of this country. But the character played by Cleavon Little is such a great character. I mean, he really is a heroic and very dominant character in the movie. So I don't think that the use of the word in the film takes away from the fact that he is a very progressive character. Another film that was To Kill a Mockingbird, which I mentioned before. Now, I don't have a copy of that film, but I've seen it several times. It's a beautiful movie. I do have a copy of the book, and of course, they use the N-word in that movie as well. But and the third film, which Frank said he couldn't understand why this would be something that people might be afraid would be eliminated, is Casablanca, which to me, I can't. It's been a while since I watched Casablanca, but I can't remember if the N-word is used in that film. I know that the character of Sam, played by Dooley Wilson, is a very likable character, and I don't remember him being seriously mistreated in any way. But then maybe I just forgot. So yeah, I don't get why people would be afraid that might be eliminated as well. But even though this idea of eliminating certain books, films from the culture comes up periodically, there seems to be a new energy behind it with what's going on in the country since the killing of George Floyd. And I don't know where all this is going to go. I really don't. So I'm not going to start getting political. That's not the tangent that I want to go off on. But yeah, I think there's. I don't know where we're going as a country, and I don't know where we're going as a culture after all this is happening. So I'm kind of I'm very wary, and we just have to see, I guess. But I'm hoping that cooler heads will prevail in every aspect of what's going on, not just the elimination of films. But to me, we should look at these things, appreciate them for what they are, what they were then and what they are now, and you don't have to like it necessarily. There are a lot of movies that I don't like, and I don't want them in my house. The last video I did was sort of a tongue-in-cheek collection of lists about what we would take to a movie purgatory if we could only take certain things, and what things would we eliminate, what would be erased, like they never existed, which was not, to me, was not done in any sense of, yeah, I would really like to eliminate this list of 5 films because I think they're terrible for everyone for all time. I don't feel that way. And I also mentioned that I would like to eliminate all rap songs because I just don't happen to like that style of music. But seriously speaking, no, I don't want to eliminate it. I don't want to have that kind of power, and I don't think anybody else should either. I would like to hope that people who listen to things that I feel are destructive and ugly would start to mature and grow and change and maybe want to experience something else. That's my hope. But I don't believe in anything being just burned. I don't believe in burning books and all that sort of thing. It's not a good idea. I don't even believe in tearing down statues, even statues of people that I think, why do they have a statue? If they're not a hero to me, I guess they were to somebody else. I don't have an aversion to the Confederate flag, but then I'm not black and I'm not from the South. I don't have any emotional attachment to it or aversion to it. If they keep it, fine. If they get rid of it, fine. I think I would feel less fine about the idea of just eliminating it. I don't think that, to me, it just stands for the South. I don't think of it as promoting slavery. I really don't. But I can understand why a lot of African Americans feel that way. I can understand it. So now, Frank also brought up this film that he said he plans to watch eventually, D.W. Griffith's 1915, The Birth of a Nation, which this actually makes Gone with the Wind seem positively progressive. The way African Americans are portrayed in this, they mainly used white men and white women in very bad blackface. It was like a minstrel show. only it was done for drama. Although some of it was supposed to be, well, it wasn't supposed to be funny, but it was. Um, they use black actors and actresses unless they had to interact intimately with white actors and actresses. For example, Lillian Gish's character was being pursued by a man who was supposed to be black, and because it had this idea of contact between a black man and a white woman, they used a white man in blackface. That's just the way they did things back during that time, and it's really vile. Now there are a lot of epic things about this film that make it a landmark of the cinema, and most people look at it in sort of an open-minded way and an objective way. They look at the good things about this film, the fact that it had such innovation for its time, and but they don't just completely sidestep the fact that it has vile images of racism. It has the Ku Klux Klan being the heroes of the story. I mean, I think there are very few white people in this culture today who would look upon that as being a positive thing. I know there are still virulent racists in this society. That doesn't mean to me that we are a racist society. I don't believe that. Now, I watched this thing about the N-word. It comes up some very surprising places. I was watching this season 1 of this old TV show from 1963-64, Mr. Novak, starring what is this guy's name? I just forgot his name. As a high school teacher, supposed to be very progressive, early 1960s depiction of high school life. And there's a scene where one of the girls in the high school is having a discussion about something she read in Huckleberry Finn, and she's quoting the book, and she uses the N-word. And it's done in a very matter-of-fact way in a classroom, which is mostly white, but it does have other races in the room, and it's just done in a very matter-of-fact way. And it was quite shocking for me to hear it. I thought, they really said that in 1964 on television? I certainly don't remember that, but yeah, what an interesting country we live in. What an interesting history we have. And but no, I don't agree with burning books. I don't agree with burning music, and I don't agree with censoring films. I think that the more discussion people can have, the more analysis they can give, the more opinions going back and forth. That's how we can grow. I don't think we can. Even if we burn all this stuff, it's not going to change the fact that we all know that it happened, and that we need to find a way to come to terms with it and live with it, live with each other. I guess I'm babbling here. I've actually started doing this video. This is probably my 10th attempt to do this, and I just kept going off on tangents and going on too long, and so I would stop. But I thought this time I would just go all the way through. I don't know if that gives any kind of an important perspective, Frank, for you or to anybody else, but thanks for asking me to give my opinion, and let me know what you think, folks. Talk to you later.